Hey, this is Joy. Welcome back to another WHIMSY Stamps video. Today I have a faux die cut inlay technique to share on a clean and simple design. To start off my card, I die cut the slimline zigzag edger out of the middle of a A2 panel, and then I cut an additional 1/4 inch off the bottom. That way I have about a 1/2 inch space in the center. Then I line up the Get Well Soon stamp from the Gnome stamp set, and I ink that up in black. Now this is where the faux inlay die cut comes through. So I actually took the centerpiece of the zigzag and I discarded that, and I'm going to use it on another project. Using my Distress Oxide inks, I start with squeezed lemonade in the middle because it's the lightest color. That way I'm not contaminating my ink pad. And I just generously blend that in the center. It doesn't have to be from top to bottom in any way because we're only going to see a very small portion of it. Then I bring in the candied apple Distress Oxide, and I blend that on the right hand side of the card into the yellow, creating an orange. So when you use 3 primary colors, you actually can make the entire rainbow. So we're going to get red, orange, yellow, green, and blue. I left off purple because I ran out of space. Now I am bringing in prized ribbon on the left hand side. Now I decided to come back in with the squeezed lemonade just so I got a better gradient. Typically when I blend, I always blend twice with my inks. That way you just get a seamless blend. Now I am taking some foam adhesive. It's one of the creative sheets that are in the WHIMSY store. That'll be linked in the description box below. And I am popping up each of the die cut layers. So that way we have some dimension and we're getting the faux inlay. So the inked panel is going to be the quote-unquote faux technique. I find that it's easiest to line things up when you have the card tipped up onto your desk. That way you get a flat edge. And then I do the exact same thing with the top panel. I flip it upside down so that I get the angles correct. But I am just lining it up so that we have a really nice design. I think rainbows are so fun and cheerful, especially for our Get Well Soon card. I also thought that using an umbrella themed card would be perfect because we know that April showers bring May flowers, and I'm hoping that we skip through the showers and go straight to the flowers, but it never works out that way. Now I am bringing back my Misty, and I'm using the gnome with the bunny and the umbrella, and I am stepping that down with a dye ink so that I can co-pick color. Now I am leaving in most of my coloring, but I sped it up just for time purposes. It is simple blending, but I wanted you to see how this comes together. I start out with the bunny, and for the bunny I use an E44, a 4-3, a 4-2, and a 4-1. No magic blending, just extending my color. So everywhere that there would be, like the paws are hanging over the belly, I put a shadow. Where the ear is underneath the umbrella, I put in a shadow. At the feet, that would be in shadow. Then I extend that with the E43. Super simple. I do the exact same thing with the E42. Now for the eyes, I made 2 C shapes. So that way I had a little bit of white space because I am going to give this bunny some blue eyes. And then I finished blending that with an E41. Now I am leaving in the coloring of the beard, and for that I used a W5. So where the bunny overlaps the beard, I put in a really big cast shadow, and where the umbrella handle is, it's really dark cast shadow. And from there I am just flicking in the colors to give the illusion of hair. I use a W3 next and a W1. Now for the umbrella, the underneath part, the part that's on the inside, I color with my darkest color. So for this case, it was the B19. Then I come in with a 16, a 14, and a 12. I move on to a G09, 07, a 5, and a 3. Now I will tell you that my G7 was darker than my G9, so I had to push the alcohol markers around with the lightest color. I skipped the yellow and the orange because that's the exact same type of coloring. Now for the gnome's hat, I am using R59, and you're going to see that I am putting in some detail with that. So not only am I creating shadows, but I'm also creating folds. I then use an R29, then I blend it out with the R46, and I use the R24. Here I am showing you my design. I popped this up on foam tape. Now in the center there, I had to use 2 layers of foam tape. That way it would be level with the card panel. So like I said, everything is linked in the description box below. If you are curious as to what I've used, you can always find it in the WHIMSY shop. I've added some enamel dots from my stash and a heart, and I think this is pretty cool. I love this thing. It makes me happy, and I hope it does you too. Here I'm showing you just the last look at my card, zooming in and out so that you can see all of the details. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I love it. Please consider liking, subscribing, leaving a comment, but most of all, come back and see us next time. Take care. Bye-bye.